Hi. So if any of y'all have seen the movie Easy A, um, the character on there, played by Emma Stone, she does a video and uses some very verbose papers for her transitions. So I thought I'd steal her idea and be clever, except I guess not so much because my pages are all a mere image. So we're going to work with it. Part 1 is the incredibly unoriginal name my parents decided to name me for the rest of my life. And that's Lauren Hemmingson, and this is a bit about me. Part 2. My current not-so-enviable standing at this fine institution of multifaceted learning. I'm a freshman, class of 15, whoop whoop. Part 3. The tentative combination of classes that will hopefully successfully lead me to a career 4 years down the road. And that's just a fancy way of saying what's my major. And I am currently in general engineering, but hoping to go into bioengineering. Part 4. A brief historical glance at the public speaking experience of a college freshman. So obviously I don't have a whole lot, but I was actually the salutatorian of my graduating class last year, so I had to say a big speech for that. And that was definitely the last time and the biggest time because there were between 3,000 and 5,000 people watching. And then it was also played on local news. Bit scary. So part 5 are 3 carefully selected words describing the act of talking in front of a crowd of unfamiliar faces. First one that comes to mind is definitely intimidating. Not something I'm very good at or something that I'm very comfortable with, which is actually why I decided to take this class. And then also I would say a privilege, because most of the time if you're speaking on behalf of a company or an organization, you've put a lot of work into it and have really earned your right to do that. Then I guess the last word I'm going to use is effective, because when you're speaking to a crowd of people, they're there to hear you, so they're going to listen to you, and it's also a good way to speak to a lot of people at once. So moving on to part 6. The most appropriate shade that accurately encompasses the traits and characteristics of me, myself, and I. I'd have to go with like aqua blue or turquoise, because it can be a girly color, but it's not pink. And I also really like the water. I like swimming and fish and wakeboarding and all that, and so blue kind of goes with water. The entirely too long list of boredom assuaging websites that I've joined at various times for various reasons. Social media, goodness gracious. Definitely have the Facebook, I have a YouTube, I had a Tumblr and a Twitter before this, and StumbleUpon's pretty cool too. Oh, and Hotmail for my mail. I don't have a smartphone though, so I do have to use my computer for all of that. Which leads us to part 8, the duration of time I choose to spend in cyberspace rather than reality on a practically daily basis. Less than an hour. I kind of just go on it to check things, and I just have the bad habit of making Facebook my homepage, but like I said, I don't have a smartphone, so not on it a whole lot. And then part 9 is a minor detail about myself that likely distinguishes me from the rest of the equally interesting participants of H223. And I'm going to go with I was born in Canada. Not really a big deal or anything, but sometimes I get made fun of for the way I say words like pardon me or about or over or sorry. But anyway, part 10, last but not least. The craftily invented signature catchphrase designated to make both me and my speech more memorable to listeners. And I'm going to have to go with combining my living in the South with being Canadian and say, we'll see y'all next time, eh?